Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Today in Warframe, let's have a beginner's guide to Isleweaver. The TLDR is Isleweaver is a big update, but it's not huge if you're a long-term player. So let's go over everything they did in the patch notes, tips and tricks, everything like that. So as you all know, if you haven't seen already, Warframe Isleweaver is out. It's been out for a handful of days. Lovely. There's a lot of info. The Operation 8 clause is out and everything. Yeah, everything's all good there, right? Pretty good, pretty good. If you have it downloaded already, that's good. If not, that is okay. If you don't already know, there's a brand new Duviri node, Isleweaver. Ooh. All you have to do is finish the Hex quest and then go to Duviri to play Isleweaver. It's pretty simple. It is Warframes in Duviri, and it takes place right there above the circuit. That is the Isleweaver node, and it doesn't really take too much time to run Isleweaver compared to Duviri. It's like the exact same as Warframe Lone Story, but with Warframes instead of your Drifter, and in a new tile set. You can use your Kaith with Warframes, so you can fly around on your horse, and it's still just as buggy as usual. And for Isleweaver, it is guaranteed to be a Duviri objective, and then the next 3 things are either Duviri objective or Undercroft. Then you get Oraxia's lair, then you get another Duviri objective or Undercroft, and finally summon the Fragmented. So it's its own little process there, takes a little bit of time. Oh well. You get more Scuttler Husks on Steel Path, which is the currency you use to buy all of the new items from Akrathis on the Zeramin, okay? As well as Operation 8 Claw, you can buy it from Dominus Thrax in the Dorma Zone on the Zeramin. Both Akrathis and Dominus Thrax Dorma Zone on the Zeramin. So Steel Path for more loot, but normal mode is faster, so at the end of the day, it's pretty similar amount of Scuttler Husks, but I would still, of course, run Steel Path just for all of the Steel Essence, Pathos Clamps, extra loot there. I would still run it just because more loot. All of the new loot is pretty much on the drop table. You can get Oraxia, Skyatid, Spinnerix, and the blueprints for the new for the new Incarnate Heavy Scythe, though, you do have to pick it up from the shop, okay? Yeah, it's not that Steel Path is hard, it's just that Steel Path Fragmented Tide and Steel Path Oraxia have a lot more HP, so it just takes a little bit of like extra time, right? So that's why at the end of the day, you get a similar amount of Scuttler Husk resources. So yeah, remember to go buy out everything if you need and run the new update. There are essentially 2 new resources, 3 maybe. The new resources, Scuttler Husk and Temporal Dust. Scuttler Husk you just get by running Isleweaver, and it is the shop currency to buy Oraxia, right? Temporal Dust is a crafting material. You get that by breaking the crates and stuff in the new Isleweaver node. It works with resource boosting in theory. It works with double drops from plants and crates. So if you resource boost yourself, very easy to get Temporal Dust, but you cannot resource boost Scuttler Husks, okay? Okay. And then all of the stuff is also at Dominus Thrax, like I said, in the Zeramin, while the event, Operation 8 Claw, is going on. Dominus Thrax is only available while Operation 8 Claw, the event, is going on, though. So keep that in mind. Remember to spend your spend your currency before ends up leaving, okay? Okay, so not too bad. There's the new mini-boss for Oraxia's lair. If you haven't fought Oraxia yet, it's pretty simple. You just have to kind of get beat up by spiderlings, shoot Oraxia, she jumps along the walls. It's a guaranteed fight, and we fought her many times. The Murmur is the new enemy in Isleweaver. It's the old enemy in Duviri now, so not actually a new enemy, but you're just going to be fighting a lot of Fragmented and Murmur enemies in Duviri now. That's about it. Pretty normal stuff, okay? Operation 8 Claw ends July 16th at 11:30 p.m. ET, okay? So it will take a little bit of time. You can always log into the game and check right here. There will be a timer in-game for however long Operation 8 Claw lasts. The Isleweaver node and everything stays after Operation 8 Claw. The only thing that's leaving is Operation 8 Claw as an operation shop, which is Dominus Thrax and the Dominus Aeris resource you get, the Dominus Aurus Aeris resources you get that drops. Okay, so pretty good. It's the exact same as Isleweaver, so you just run Isleweaver. Nothing too odd there. The community kind of drop is the new Signa, so get farming for that, play Isleweaver, and community unlock will be this sweet kind of Whispers in the Wall, Angels, Signa. So not bad there. It will take a little bit though. The currency shop for Dominus Thrax also has a lot of arcanes and some other items, so make sure to check it out. You'll get a lot of loot, and you can very quickly max out all of your Eidolon arcanes, but only from uncommon to legendary, you know, including Arcane Energize and whatnot. And you can only buy 21 of the arcanes each, so like one full max rank arcane essentially. Takes a little bit of time to farm it up, but it shouldn't be the worst, okay? There are clan trophies, believe it or not, if you care for any of that. So that is the clan trophy breakdown. If anyone does end up buying anything there, okay? Or not buying, but like grinding out their clan. Yeah, that's the clan trophy tiers. So we're just gonna be playing the game a lot and making a lot of videos. So we're probably gonna get somewhat boosted up on the clan tiers and get our trophy within a handful of days, because I assume a lot of people in the Pupsker Corgi Cult clan will end up farming the new update casually as well. The new Warframe is out, and her name is Oraxia. If you haven't seen her fan key art, sorry, if you haven't seen her sweet art, mwah, beautiful, looks great. Okay, we've gone over her abilities. She is a Warframe that sticks to the wall and goes invisible for 8 seconds as her passive. Pretty much she is a new Saren in the sense that she's a toxic Warframe. All of her abilities do toxin damage essentially because she's a spider, so makes sense. She summons spiderlings, she webs enemies, she jumps on enemies, like leaps onto them. So she has a pretty good setup. Her 4th ability is just a buff to her max health and then a toxic damage to your weapons boost. So overall, Oraxia is pretty great. She's a very strong frame and it seems like people like her, okay? As always, whenever a new Warframe comes out, we'll all call her overpowered, insane, godly, and then we'll decide if people actually like using her, because every Warframe is pretty insane, OP, and godly nowadays. Let's be real. Dante's just super OP and godly, right? Yeah. Of course, you can farm Oraxia just by running the new game mode. As you can see here, I'm just collecting resources, farming everything up. Oraxia does have a Prex card, but I haven't managed to find it yet. It'll probably be available online if you check the wiki. You can always just Google where to find her Prex card, but I might make a separate video going over where her Prex card is, where all of the records are on Isleweaver possibly, and the hidden Lloyd and Minerva, which if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, then yeah, there's lore around that and you can go find out what that is. So nice. Nice. New weapons is the new Incarnate Heavy Scythe, the Thallus, okay, and it looks like it does get a lot of damage boosting through its upgrades, so I'm excited to actually grind through that. Again, everything is just acquired by running Isleweaver because there's literally one new game mode, and that's Isleweaver. So that's how you get the new melee weapon, the Spinnerix. That's how you get the new weapon, the Thallus. That's how you get the Spinnerix, and that's how you get the new secondary, which is like web shooters, the Skyatid. And there's also a lot new Tenogen, a lot more new Tenogen. I can't speak, don't worry about it. Words just kind of come to my brain sometimes, right? And then we have the market skins right there. Not bad. Not bad. Little Citrine lost her Gemusi, and we're all still going to hell, okay? But she looks really cool. So more skins if anyone wants to grab anything there. We have Oraxia's bundle. It includes Oraxia and more skins, you know? That is looking pretty cool. And even more, 1999 round table salon pack. It has hairstyles. Nice. And then we went on to the Valkyr Rework. I've played Valkyr a little bit, like 2-3 matches, a little bit of Duviri, and she's still insanely strong. Her melee does a lot of damage. She claps enemies pretty easily. You can probably pretty easily do level cap with her, just running survivability adaptation, honestly, because of how her kit works. You get 5 seconds invulnerability when your melee gate, health gate, gets popped, so she's a lot better. She has way more health, way more armor. Her first ability, Ripgline, I think is what it's called, groups enemies together now. You boost your attack speed and armor a lot more now, and since she has more health and armor, it's actually useful. Power that with her passive 5-second invulnerability gate when you run low health, as long as you're meleeing enemies and your rage meter is built up. Yeah, she's a lot better. All of her abilities seem to just be stronger, but she might be, maybe her melee or maybe her overall damage is nerfed a little bit endgame, or maybe her survivability, since it's not just straight passive invulnerability. But she should still be pretty good for level cap. She should still be pretty invincible. But hey, if you hate her for level cap, let me know. If you love her for level cap, let me know. I've just seen a handful of people being like, nah, I mean, she's still really fun. She's still really strong. And you can still do level cap pretty easily, assuming you're actually attacking the enemies. But, like, who knows? Maybe not. Maybe not. There were 4 new augment mods, one for Curlevo, Citrine, Caliban, and Jade. All of them seem pretty strong and decent overall. Like Jade's spawns Jade lights over the enemies. Citrine's has your prismatic gem duration increase, and now companions move it with you. It attaches to your free moving companion, aka any companion that doesn't like fly over you in your top right, such as like Ortis, carrier, whatnot. My carrier is Ortis, okay? All of them are Ortis. It's a great skin. Either way, Curlevo got volatile recompense. TLDR is nearby foes, blast damage, dealing blast damage. Yeah, you have AoE slash on your little knives instead of just having an AoE defense area. It, I think, operates more like Ureli, where it has AoE blades just spinning around you. So volatile recompense on Curlevo sounds kind of amazing, and I might do a video purely going over each and every one of the augments in Warframe because they're so freaking good, and I managed to grab all of them day one, so not bad. Caliban's is pretty interesting as well, because it groups enemies together that you hit with Razor Gyre, and then your summons, your like Ortholis, get even more attack damage and attack speed. So like 70%. Really good. Really good. Overall, very fun. There's new additions to Baro. Remember, Baro is in Warframe, I think for another day by the time this video releases, but Baro will now permanently have a new Void Surplus gamble every time Baro shows up. 50,000 credits, costs almost nothing, so takes a little bit of time. Every 2 weeks because you have to wait. But yeah, new little Baro gamble. You can get sweet loot, trust me. The way it works is everything has a relatively small drop chance. Legendary core is 0.5% chance, but yeah, you just get good loot overall. Thanks, Malware Bites. And you can check out anything here if you want. Like that's good loot. Boosters, adapters, blueprints for reactors, catalysts, Aya, Forma, stuff like that. So not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. And, oh, okay, so the Katir's Nobilis Signa, it has a 5% drop chance with plus 4% drop chance increase per open Void Surplus. So no matter what, you are guaranteed to get that Void Signa eventually from Baro Katir, probably within 10 yeah, probably within half a year, okay? Almost guaranteed that you'll get it within half a year. But with the way luck works, you never truly know, you know? You know? Yeah, you know. I'm assuming it's like a 5% drop chance and then plus 4% flat drop chance, not like 4% multiplicative of 5%. So I assume it'll go 5, then 9, then 13%, then 17%. Okay, that's how I think it's gonna go. So that's why I said within half a year, you're almost guaranteed to get that shit. Not bad. Not bad. New Varzia wares. Oh, okay. Okay. It looks like Varzia has some new loot. There's some new cosmetics if anyone cares to grab it. Yeah, even more. And then they added Temple and the Ripper's tour poster to Flair's memorabilia. Okay, they added Curlevo's hold scenes to Akrathis. Added the Citrines to vendors. Okay. Okay, a lot of relay vendors. And now we're getting to the new player experience changes and reworks. If you don't know, Warframe updated all of their junctions on this latest update. What that essentially means is junction objectives are new, They changed how junctions connect to each other. They have a better UI, and they just kind of moved around Planet's UI a little bit. Whether that was this or last update, it happened either way, not a big deal. That's the new junction UI. Makes it a lot easier to understand how to do things. It's like, hey, go do all of this, and then enter junction to get this. As long as you kill the guarding Warframe, in this case, it would be Mesa. So pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Cheers, cheers. Thank you, thank you. And that's the junction rework. Pretty much all of them have been reworked a little bit to just change the task and change what you, like maybe which Warframe you need to fight. They changed some resources for Rhino as well, but the TLDR is legit just, they changed the objectives and made the UI way more understandable, made certain things unlock earlier or at different points in the game. If you want to know what all of the changes are, you can quickly look through the patch notes, but they changed so many junctions because they changed almost every single one, right? Not bad, not bad. Oh, so many, right? Neptune Junction, Pluto Junction, Eris Junction, Sedna Junction, Phobos Junction, Ceres Junction. They're almost done. Europa Junction, as you know, a lot of planets. Boom. Other ones, arbitration unlocks are now on the Pluto to Eris Junction. Tax and crafting costs have been made not terrible so that it's now a junction unlock, so it's a lot faster. Rhino crafting costs, what I was talking about before. You can now actually craft Rhino as soon as you finish farming him. His resources are no longer locked behind planets that you unlock after you farm Rhino. So a lot of changes. And then we go up to Captain Vor. Captain Vor has been reworked. Captain Vor is on Mercury. New abilities, new attacks, and now you can farm arcanes from the Captain Vor boss fight on Mercury. The boss fight also has a hard mode. Arcanes are only available on Steel Path, by the way. But the hard mode of the boss, you get it by completing the glyphs, okay? We've added new act-like glyphs for Tenno who display certain feats of strength in the Vort fight, wink wink nod nod, designed by community artist Kademel. The way I've heard this described, I haven't done it yet, is this. The glyphs apparently spawn in the Captain Vor mission. I think it has to be Steel Path, but either way. And you have to find them around the map before you go and spawn Captain Vor. As long as you activate one, you get the hard mode fight apparently on Captain Vor. And once you find a glyph, you just click on it, activate the fight by activating the console before the Captain Vor fight, and then you fight Corrupted or Hard Mode Corrupted Vor, whatever it's technically called. And I assume you collect the glyphs as you find them. So if you end up activating and finding a Chroma glyph, I think you just get that. And then all 6 of the glyphs spawn in the mission, I think, but I haven't done it yet, so I could totally be wrong on that. You don't have to actually collect any. Oh, you just have to activate the console before Vor? Yeah, okay, we'll see, we'll see. I have to do a whole fight and talk and guide on that, but I just haven't done it yet. Oh, you do have to just know the pattern for the console? Nice, okay. Well, I guess you have to, what, collect the glyphs to actually get them, and or if not, usually what they have you do is fight Vor hard mode with the specific frame in the game. So fight hard mode corrupted Vor probably with Hildren, Limbo, Citrine, Atlas, Chroma, and I think this is Korra. Yeah, it doesn't say exactly, but I think that's a Korra skin. Oh, I'm so bad with that frame. Either way, very cool. We'll make sure when we actually end up running that, how that works. There were some small quest changes with Awakening, Nata, New War, even more Arcwing Launcher acquisition changes. Okay, Rising Tide quest order changes. And there's a lot of other random new player experience changes. You no longer have to scan plants. Now you just go up to a plant, hold X, collect the plant. Not bad, not bad. We have quality of life changes and additions. A lot of dojo stuff is a lot easier. You have decorative NPCs. They made things pretty simple for dojo stuff, so not bad, not bad. They added a bunch of Kim conversations. They made Captura improvements, updates for better quality of life. And then just a general small quality of life, okay? Added some UI changes to the helmet, a ton of general UI changes. They made available the incarnate adapters. Every week there are new incarnates that swap in and out of Steel Path, and now you can buy the weekly incarnates from Cavallero for Platinum. And then they made a ton of other like small general changes, quality of life, made it easier to control apparently with controllers. They changed sensitivity, changed around highlights. Cool. There are melee slam changes as well. The TLDR is if you do a quick small slam, it'll do less damage and have less AoE. If you do a large slam, it'll have a larger AoE and a larger damage. So slam is now based on distance that you go to slam. So that's pretty cool. And then there are a bunch of general small changes that you might not actually notice, nerfs and buffs to small things in the background, performance, optimization, fixes, just things of that nature. And then from there, the Warframe Isleweaver update has been out a handful of days, okay? They dropped the update and they've fixed a handful of things. If you've been playing the update, you know that the new game mode has been so buggy, okay? So buggy. And blinding, yeah, the new attacks can be very blinding. It's awful. When I'm doing my like guard slam attacks on any of my melees, it's straight up a flashbang no matter what. I have 0 bloom on, but hey, I guess I have to turn energy emissive to 0 and everything to nothing so that Warframe looks as bland as possible and doesn't flashbang my face. Either way, they fixed the Zealoid Prelate fight. Fun fact, apparently it had so much HP, they nerfed it by 3. They like 3 times nerfed it. They cut the HP of the Zealoid Prelate in group fights down straight 2/3. It's insane. So that should be easier to fight. They've done general fixes. Hopefully the game's less buggy now. But there hasn't been a billion different things worth mentioning. Either way, everyone, that is my beginner's guide to the new Isleweaver update. Let me know what you think, if you actually like the update, if you've been playing it, if you don't like it, and if you've done a lot of the side content or not. In the background, that was pretty much a full rotation of Isleweaver, so yeah, let me know what you think. If you love it, hate it, as always, sub, like, and use Epic Games Creator Code Pupsker. Thank you.